Alright guys, as promised, here is our version 1 of a comprehensive guide of how you should play this game now with all the new updates that they have dropped with the entry fee implemented. Now remember this, before you jump in, remember one thing in your mind, that this is a RNG model. What is an RNG model? It's a random number generated model. Basically, it is a lottery system. Um, but there are key elements that will favor you in or give you an extra edge for winning that lottery system. So core element is still RNG, but certain stats will definitely help you out. So with that, keep that in mind. There is multiple tools again available in my Discord. You can always join the Discord, and in my Discord there is a stats section where you can go through stats and see that whether that helps you out or not. That's those stats have been data mined. So after mining data for like at least like 8 or 9 days, I came up with my stats, shared it with the community. The community had their stats, and then we pulled all the data together, and we came to a suggestion. And I'm going to show you that stat, that what it actually means. Some have been edited because when we dropped in the stats for the RNG version, they changed the model from certain factors favoring a pega to a complete RNG. So there was a phase, if you are again new to Pegaxy, you would not know this, but there was a phase in Pegaxy where if you had certain factors, you would definitely win the race. So that what that was fun, actually doing data and all that stuff, and it was all about March. So without further ado, let's go to desktop live scene, and I'm going to show you how to manage and how to play this game. First of all, um, you have to utilize all the tools that is available in front of you, which means you have to keep in mind breeding, you have to keep in mind fuse, and obviously marketplace to buy and sell. And then you have to look into win percentage and stats. Super, super important, right? So let's go to my Discord. I'm going to post you a link down below. Uh, so these are some raw data, stats correlation. Okay. So open the file. Okay. So this you can download if you want. And in a nutshell, hold on a second. Okay, so in this, basically in this data set, we what we did was we actually did Pearson's correlation coefficient. Basically, correlation is something that you are going to look. You can do it yourself. Is just by getting API data, you can actually use correlation to find out what will favor your stats compared to the engine, what it is looking at, like to the computer, in like very layman's term, in whatever the computer is trying to figure out. Basically you are trying to make yourself favorable in that position. So we did find out that the data was divided into two sets, which is speed, strength, and lightning. Second set was wind, water, and fire. But that has changed. This is not two data sets anymore. Now this is just speed and strength, and the fire has become a very common element. So remember this, having higher set of fire, um, like your Pegas will always be favorable in the form of meta Pegas. But speed, having speed very high, having strength very low, again, can increase your chance of having a meta Pega. Now, in my data, but this is also very arguable, a lot of people did not find this helpful, is that in my data, I found that strength was, if strength was more and speed was less, again, we were seeing the chances of winning was more. And obviously, you have to have a very high lightning and other elements, to be less. Like, for example, out here on this particular one, I'm pretty sure you cannot see. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in on this. Okay, so out here I've given an example where speed is 6, strength is 1, lightning is 6, 2 and 3 is wind and water, and 7 is fire. So you see out here that speed and lightning is more, but in this scenario, I can either run it in fire stadium, which I should technically, because these are one of the four components that I'll be targeting, and the highest amount is the place where I'm going to run my pega. So for example, if I have been given lightning, wind, water, and fire stadium, I would definitely run my pega in fire stadium. Now, having speed 6, is it good? Probably not. But then, if you are trying to run a Pega in a stadium where element of fire is like 8, okay? So, I think I can give you a better example of this by going through this, going through racing, going through pledge racing. And you see out here, let me just go stream watching, record live scene. Right here, you will see 8, 8.41, 8.86, right? So if I try to go for this, the Pegas that have very, very close 8.4 or 8.1 or 8 and all that stuff will have a higher probability to win. So my Pega, according to these charts, which I have been showing out here, my Pega doesn't have a chance to stand on that. So that's what you have to think about, that yes, your pega has got meta characteristics. It is favoring one or two stats, um, but is it going to be good enough for your entry fee of probably like 270 for legendary, or entry fee of 90 for your epic and 10 for your pacer? That's what you have to decide. So this is how you're going to logically decide of which pega, according to their stats and win rate, which stadium to enter, and is it worth it for you to take the risk of spending that much amount of vis to gain certain amount of vis. Okay, that's what you're thinking. Okay, that's your number one. Now let's go to my assets again. Zero breed pegas. Remember, these are most profitable pegas. Why? Because they're zero breed. Having a couple of females, males is actually ideal for you. So go ahead and click that breeding button, and I'm going to show you that on the left hand corner, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 males, I've got 4 females, but I think I have to move this again. Watch this carefully. Out of this 9, anything above 3, anything above third breed, which is number 3 out here, is not profitable for me to breed. Why? Because your breeding cost is going to be more. So for example, I take a third breed and I go for a zero breed, okay, and I press breed. I'm spending 12,000 vis and 30 pgxs to make a clean bloodline. Now remember this, uh, according to the breeding chart, you have cooldown period, right? You have 2 or 3 days cooldown, out of which um, most profitable is going to be your Zan, because Zan has the least cooldown period before you can race again or breed again, right? So after third, if you take fourth and if you take zero, now you're paying 18,000 vis. And for example, you do not have a zero breed in your arsenal, you have fourth and you have number 1 breed. Go ahead and press breed. You're spending 20,000 vis. That 20,000 vis, again, there's a lot of factors. Should you spend 20,000 vis? Again, you have to remember in mind that in breeding, it matters a lot about these stats. These stats matter a lot. Why? Because you'll be getting very close to those stats. So, for example, in my chart, I do not have good meta pegas to breed across, even at zero. And I cannot risk breeding a new one right now. Why? Because even if it's cheap for me to breed, nobody's going to buy it. So I've now spent more vis, but it's just sitting in my stable. So in this scenario, where you get to see you have a 50% winner win rate, you just keep on racing it, and later on maybe you can sell it just because it's a 50% win rate. It's a meta pega for some reason. I mean, back in the days, but doesn't have meta characteristics at all. So you hold on to that win rate, because when people purchase, very less people actually watches your like the what sort of speed it has, what a sort of strength it has, what a sort of lightning it has, and you can sell your pickup after minting a lot of vis. That's another strategy. So these are all the stuff. This will allow you to give more edge, a little bit of edge on your stable management. Now, worst comes to worst scenario where all of your stuff is done, you have minted a lot, you have raced all of these pegas for more than like 4,000 races and everything, and you want to do something else, you want to fuse. Now, in fuse, you're like, okay, so for example, I'm just giving an example. I have a 24 percenter and another 24 percenter, right? So 24, sorry, 24 percenter and 25 percenter, right? The list all is 27, 40, 30, 50 percent or 34 percent. If I go for genetic fuse, it's 16K. And in genetic fuse, like I can actually get another pega. I want to play this, what? Both of them are third breeds. It's going to cost me more to breed another one, even though I get to keep like two of these. What am I going to do with it? So all of these factors, views comes to you as one of the last resort. This is not your first resort. This is your last resort, where you're giving away two NFT to randomly get another NFT, but very close to the characteristics of the pega that you have. So it's basically genetic breeding, but out here you're not going to keep your both of your pegas. You have to give away both of your pegas. Okay, so that's what genetic fuse stands for. You do not want to do genetic fuse, both of your pegas are trash. Maybe you want to get lucky, and like you get random of everything, right? Your breed count will be second. Maybe you get different, like an epic. You making two pacer, there is a probability you can get a epic or a legendary. You can go for that. This has got a lot of gambling perspective to it. So I do not talk about fuse a lot, because fuse should be your last resort. But yes, this tool is available. So that goes our fuse part. Now, there is one more way you can play this. Now, for example, consider this. I have got this guy, which is a legendary. Hold on. Where's my legendary? Okay. Breed type, legendary. So I've got one legendary. So my legendary has got speed, which is 4, strength, which is 4, fire, it has got a lot, wind, it has got 5, but fire is doing good. I want to raise this in the fire stadium, right? What I need more is speed, right? You can go to marketplace now, right? You can go to marketplace, you can go for stats item, and you can see for speed stat up. So speed stat up is $13.90. Pretty sure. Again, you cannot see because my cameras are always in weird position. Okay. Like for example, you see speed stat up, right? So should you spend $13 to improve the pega that you have? Because it makes more sense to spend $13 over than selling it, which I don't know when you're going to sell it, and go for another pega. So, for example, if I go pega and if I go for legendary and out here, minimum legendary is with good stats. I mean, this one doesn't even have, it has a 12.6 percenter. A good stats will cost you $75, which is actually this guy. Um, but 46% win rate out of 15 game. I mean, it's not even, doesn't even say anything. But good speed and good wind. So definitely, you can either spend $75 to get another legendary, or you can save money and spend $13 to improve the stats of your legendary. Again, that decision remains on your hand. Um, that is another way of playing your thing. Now, the last thing which I have kept at the end is racing. So there is two racing. One is drop racing, one is pledge racing. In drop racing, whatever you do is going to spend two energy, and you are playing an entry fee of 60 vis to get like stats, items, drop key, and chest, and all that stuff. Is it worth it? Again, it seriously depends upon your playstyle whether it's worth it or not. Okay. Um, on the other hand, you can go for racing and you go for pledge racing. And again, you know that the entry fee is so much. Would you rather rent this out to a scholar for, I mean, like for people, those who want to get a direct, like Pegas and stuff like that? Would you be okay with doing 50-50 entry fee, 70-30 entry fee on a market where this doesn't even have any value? So I will keep on saying this, that this doesn't have any value until and unless this goes to 1 cent. 1 cent is actually a cent that you can hold in your hand, right? Until and unless it's a cent, it is of no value, right? So would you rather do that and lose more vis, or you have to decide that you go to rent and put out your stuff for certain amount, like certain amount of pgx's? Maybe it's 6, 7, 8, 10, 15, doesn't matter. You're still going to make some pgx, right? Which means that you are not losing out anything. You are, on the other hand, yes, your percentage of pegas are going down, but at least you're making pgx's out of the game. So that is another way of playing the game. The last and the most critical part is going to be your crown pega. Do you want crown pega or not? What is the purpose of this? I'm not going to tell about crown pega right now. Why am I not excited about crown pega? Only for the reason is that it is on a market which doesn't have any value. A fable token, which I think for crown pega it usually consumes like 2 or 3 tokens. It's like $300 for a fable token. I mean, you're welcome to drop $300. Would I suggest it? Probably no. There is no purpose right now. But if Pegaxy goes up, all these prices goes up. Remember this, there was time back in the days when a 15 percenter pacer was actually roundabout when there was no entry fee, was around about $3,000 or $2,500. Will it come down? Or will it come back to that same thing again? Probably not, because now there is entry fee inside the game. So do not expect things to go back to that same level it was when it first started. It probably is not going to happen. So that's pretty much it. I showed you multiple ways to manage your Pegas. You have to think as an owner of a Pega, what are you going to do with it? Remember about stats. You want to know more information, you're always welcome to join my Discord. Again, I'm going to post a link right down below. And watch this very carefully once you go to my Discord. I'm usually always making some content for like gaming, Warzone, Modern Warfare multiplayer, doing YouTube videos. I'm working. I've life to balance. I do not get a lot of time to sit in my server. But all you have to do is go to Techado published Pegaxy PDFs, and here is where you're going to find all the PDFs. Whatever stuff I can mine, data mine, I can actually put it up there on the page. So with that said, we wrap this up under 20 minutes. Let me know in comment section below, is this format of stable management helped you out or not, because that's a great feedback that I actually need to know. That will actually encourage me to make more content for you. That will come up, allow me to come up with more tips for you, and eventually help us out all. One thing, literally get this out of your mind, that Pega's probably, until and unless marketing solutions come up, until and unless it's marketed across, Pegas are not coming back to the same price that you probably bought in at the high anytime soon. Anytime soon. If you see price of Viz go up, do not lurk around and think that like what to do. Should I wait? Should I wait? Should I wait? Should I wait? If you have if you do not want to hold, just sell it. For me, I have 1 million Viz. Should I cash out for $200? No. I am not living in a developing country where I have to worry about for 200 bucks. For that, I've got other stream of revenue. I've got other games that I play, like Soulcraft. I play DeFi Kingdom, and there's like more than 7 or 8 games that I'm into. So, and in the same way, it doesn't seem very logical to cash out at that certain amount. But again, I am not your financial advisor. That question totally remains upon you. I was answering this question because somebody wrote in Discord. So here you go. This is my logical reasoning behind it, that why I did not cash out, why I held it for so long. I mean, as a matter of fact, I was actually thinking, because the prices again will go down, maybe I'll just start my own guild and have 200 Pegas with 200,000 Vis locked in at certain amount. But I mean, I'm still holding into an investor format, where a lot of friends are saying that you should do a guild and all that stuff. I'm like, nah. I've seen a lot of guilds doing stuff. I mean, let them do. I mean, I'm just here, trying to make content and help as much as I can. Alrighty. So good night. Take care. Do not forget to follow me on all socials. It will help me out really, really a lot, because that's how YouTube videos get ranked. Basically, how much like social media you are in, how much I think, comments, how much feedback is there. I think so, and that's what matters, to be honest. Ignore some spam links. Please do not click any links in comment section. I'm getting heavily spammed. I do not know how. I do not know why, but there's a lot of spam that is going on. Just ignore everything. Okay, and join the Discord. There'll be the link down below.